everybody, back with a new episode of almost said Supernatural, the Winchesters. Last episode I really liked. We were introduced to Rockin' Roxy, a pirate radio host who apparently has the leader of the Akrita inside of her, who has also been following the group around and collecting things with her little insect monster minions. Ugh. But that was a lot, and I really liked that turn of events. Then you've got Ada trying to, got that information from the demons that they were going after, collecting demons in her bonsai tree. So I can only imagine of what she's capable of. She seems to have a lot of interesting knowledge about how to go about things, and her working with Carlos was really fun, but they seem a little worried about her, and I am a little worried too, strictly on the fact that she said slick, and I don't know if she was kind of like mocking the demons for saying that, or she got something going on. I don't know. And then Lotto, we found out that her parents were dead, but just kidding. Her mom is alive, apparently. So she's holding back things about herself for undisclosed reasons. Mary kind of really grappling with what it will mean when she actually does stop hunting. Who will she be? But, until they find Samuel, it's not even a discussion. And figure out what this whole Akrita business is about. John, we found some backstory with him. He was, I don't know if that was like an engagement ring or a promise ring, but he was with someone, Betty, who is now a cop, but he has since broken it off. Or I guess they did before he went to the war, but he's just not wanting to pick it back up or anything. And speaking of the war, this episode is called Masters of War, so I imagine we're going to get some more backstory. We know about his friend that was killed, had the stuff in his arm or his necklace or something. So maybe we'll find out more. I'm surprised, honestly. Last episode made me realize that, John was crying because he was upset about Mary. It's just, I always think of him as such a hard ass. In the way that he didn't break in hell, but I guess I assumed it was the war that really kind of made him that way, but he's after the war, and he's still, not a bad thing to cry, obviously, but it was just surprising to me. But I guess losing Mary was really the tipping point there. But I thought the war had more to do with that, but so far all we've seen is a little bit of PTSD. And I hope we get into more of what he's gone through, and if that has changed him or is going to change him as he acclimates back into the real world, even though he seems okay, other than, he clearly has PTSD, but he's functioning, and I think doing these little hunts that they're doing probably is a great distraction for him. But I'm sure it's probably a trigger at the same time. So we'll see. Maybe we're not going to get into that, but it'd be surprising to me for them to have war in the name of the episode without it referencing what he had gone through. Did I hit on everything? The sack monster. we also found out that isn't just a random thing that we keep seeing things we've never seen before. It's a result of the Akrita in some way. So a lot happened last episode. I think it was, I don't know if it was better than the premiere. Maybe, because I think the premiere was pretty overstuffed, maybe by necessity. But I just really, really clicked with last episode. So I'm hoping that continues. And we learned some more Cool stuff. So I'm liking the way this is going. I'm still searching for like, why is Dean telling us this? So we'll see. So let's get into it. Oh. Oh. What? I thought he was having his own PTSD, but this seems weird. Destiny. Kill it. Fuck Destiny.
Fighting the battle between good and evil isn't easy, especially when the first monster you have to face is the one inside yourself.
Better luck next time, champ.
Am I interrupting whatever hetero mating ritual this is?
You're just sparring.
I was out for drinks with my buddy Manny last night when he mentioned of a strange death happening at Hannibal Park Hospital. I didn't volunteer like some people I know, but yeah. Maybe. Task Force 116.
Oh, wow.
Don't take it personal.
Oh,
I'd much
wow.
rather go door to door for Nixon than talk about my time fighting for old Uncle Sam.
I just need a quick shower and I'll be good to go.
Okay, not in there. The bathroom's down the hall.
What's in there?
Maggie's old room.
Oh. Maggie lived with you guys?
No one's been in there since.
She was killed on our hunt, yeah.
Okay, check the drawers.
I figured.
I dressed you clowns. Why do I have to be the one in the bag?
Because you suck at rock, paper, scissors.
There is no logical world where paper beats rock.
A burning blade sounds more like a component of a sacrifice.
Uh-oh.
Could be witchcraft.
An orderly told me that he got into it with one of the doctors on the day it happened.
Which doctor are you talking about?
You're the second person who has asked me that in the last few days.
Who was the first?
Oh, was a nice young reporter.
What in the fuck? Full gladiator? John.
I hope you and Carlos are ready to tell your best war stories. Because you're enrolling in Patch's therapy group.
Oh, well. They're gonna fit right in.
Talking about how I feel.
Never been our strong suit, huh?
Talk is cheap, kiddo. It's our actions that matter most.
Talking matters. Talking matters. Ooh! Let's go!
Carlos, this is my mom, Millie.
Life is a runway.
This is Carlos.
You ready to open the floodgates and let the healing begin?
If they start trying to blame it all on the mother, you're out of there, got it?
Of course.
Let him
You all know it's
process.
Dad's fault anyway.
The psych unit staff is stretched thin these days, so Dr. Z is all booked up.
Robin, is it? Yes, oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Work
name.
some magic.
I don't want to ask for any special treatment, but would you mind switching us?
Do you have a dime?
Dime, why?
Because that is the reporter I ran into at the movies.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Mega
Did we know he
Man,
was a
you did
reporter?
not tell me he looks like that.
Because I knew you were gonna act like this. Okay, just hang back and act casual, okay?
Well, the whole reason I'm in Lawrence is because I've been chasing this story. Other vets have been killed in psych units just like your friend. All across the country.
Damn. So I wouldn't think it would be tied to a particular doctor.
All right, there's our guy. So keep an eye on Z and distract him.
Who's next? An eager newcomer.
I love them.
I don't think we've met yet.
Judge said it was either jail or service, and I wasn't about to give up freedom on the open road for a cell. So next thing I know, I'm in the Mekong Delta. I remember there were these dots in the jungle. But then I realized they were the cherries from the Viet Cong cigarettes. I was watching them, and they were watching us.
My friend died. All I got was a lousy scar.
What else can you tell us about that day?
Hey.
Losing a friend like that must have been unbearable. If you can, tell us what's coming up for you.
You're raised bottled up. Be a man. Look where that got us, sitting in a hospital.
Wasting time. Jimmy, wait up. What happened between Dr. Z and Patches?
No! Jimmy! It happened so fast. Oh.
If it's a mythological creature we're looking for, I know where we can find them.
John?
Where?
There are no monsters in this hospital.
You have no idea.
Ooh. John, that was a little threatening.
I actually really enjoyed our session.
Thank you.
While Mary and Lotta hit the books, let's you and I split up, search for more of these burn marks, and see if they lead us on a trail where the man in the mask is hiding.
Ooh, John. Okay.
You know, she used to
Donny
say goodnight
Osmond?
to him every night when she went to sleep.
Should have done 2 bad things and 1 good thing on each of these.
For every hunt. You're wondering how Maggie saw past the darkness. I think this is how. Forget monster. We've never faced anything like this. And John and Carlos have no idea.
That they're up against a god.
That's cool. I mean, it sucks, but now we got gods on the table. Oh no. Not you too.
He's immortal.
Great.
You sent John into battle against a god who's immortal.
There may be a way to stop him.
Well.
Tell her about the vase thingy.
Yes, according to the lore in that
Kind of
tale,
the
he
Winchester
has
way, isn't it?
a kind of face called an amphora.
John.
Well, at least you have each other.
Yeah. If he wants to fight, I'll get one. I know, John. Hold
John. Oh no! Murph!
on. John?
Oh. Jimmy. The whole time?
I saw you die.
Everything I did for you was to get you to embrace your anger, to get
Drama
you
queen.
Ready for what?
Akrita.
Whoa!
I know the Akrita are already here.
This is a test?
You and your hunter friends are too weak to stop them, but you.
John, Mary kicked your ass.
Jimmy Mixon's body disappeared.
What a day for this guy.
It must be somewhere.
Shit.
I know the anger you have inside you. Set it free.
You don't know anything about me.
Bingo.
Men would rather get their ass kicked by the god of war than go to therapy.
It's holding you back.
Ironic, isn't it? That a god's immortality would be tied to something that appears so
Fragile.
fragile.
We do not have time for irony. Now, how do we know if it worked?
Millie's no bullshit.
I was right. You are just like me.
Jeez, John, are you sure?
You're ready for the war against the Akrita.
I don't know about that. Not being able to control your anger is a liability.
But it worked.
Just John. Why?
I guess he just saw something in John, but he was wrong.
Or the Akrita
John won.
coming
Carlos.
specifically for him.
On the upside, I might have a new therapist, but
That is an upside.
on the other hand, I'm so shaken up, and I might not be able to sleep in the van tonight.
Do you want to stay with me?
Do you mean Magpies?
I can't keep the door locked forever.
If you ever want to talk,
You should.
you let me know, okay?
He's not going to.
Oh.
People stop and stare. I
He's
can't
not gonna
see
come.
their faces. Going well,
Aw.
weather suits my clothes.
Write your good things and bad things. Okay, well, this was a lot of character stuff going on with this episode. Not a lot of plot, even though tangentially the Roman god of war was like, you gotta be ready for what's coming. I don't really understand what his plan was, though. Either he was gonna die or John, so he wanted to make sure that John was tough enough to go after the Akrita, but like, he's in no shape, to be honest. He's crying in the tub with, his mother. He's not doing well, and I don't think that will serve him in this upcoming fight. And I'm watching these episodes with like the idea of how are they going to present John? What are they going to say? Like, I think it's been pretty sympathetic so far, although I think this episode you see like when he is maybe not choosing the healthier options in his life in the way that Carlos did here, when he's had the opportunity to. So you can kind of see maybe the beginnings of John's self-destructive tendencies, or just the inability to confront his actual issues, running into the fight. I mean, that's what John did after Mary died. That's all he wanted to do. So I like that. Even though it's tough and you wish he would go in there and go to that meeting like Carlos did, but that seems pretty true to character to me. And just knowing that about Carlos, they also were in the military and the Navy. That's not something we knew before. And they talked through it and got something out of it in a way I wish John had. But it was good to see Carlos processing what he had gone through, understanding the humanity and the person that you're fighting can be a lot to take when you have to, be a soldier and try not to think about that kind of stuff. But it's the reality of the situation, and I'm glad to see them get rid of probably a lot of the same things that John is dealing with, like with the anger. I mean, he's talking it out so he doesn't just explode, which we saw John do. So having those two characters juxtaposed was really well done, I think. And then you have like Mary with her not wanting to open the door of Maggie's room. I mean, you can be metaphorical about that as well. The room, John's room in his head that he doesn't want to open. But Mary walked through as well and let go of the things that she's been not wanting to face, and just acceptance that Maggie is no longer here. And then offering up the room to Carlos. Lata was a big help for her in that regard, and them finding her little notes and seeing how she dealt with the darkness. And it's funny they call it that, but since we've known the literal embodiment of the darkness. But, I guess the point of that was being open to the idea of not just focusing on all of the terrible, writing down good parts of your day or things that have gone on, which they seem to have taken with them and are doing it themselves. So that was great too. I feel like this was an okay episode, maybe a little plotting. It would have been nice for a lot of the scene, like maybe some of the like less necessary scenes, if they had focused on like something Ada's doing or something, maybe, or a follow-up to like Roxy. I really wanted more with that, but we had to get into this stuff with John, and I'm glad we did. I'd been waiting for it. And I'm actually quite happy with the way it ended up, because it makes sense to me that that is how John copes and reacts. And I keep wondering, like, is this going to be different because something has changed? I mean, he's knowing about the monsters earlier on, but I mean, he's still John Winchester, so yeah, I think they got it right. I think they got his character right in this episode, which I'm happy about. And we were dealing with his PTSD here. I guess they called it shell shock back then, but I mean, we've just now become more open and normalized the idea of therapy and help and all of that. So back then it was almost non-existent. You did just kind of have to not talk about it. But it was nice to see here that there were avenues and options and opportunities to handle it in a more healthy way. And I'm glad that Carlos took that and is going to continue to do it. It's nice to see them going there again after the mystery had been solved. I feel like the show's still finding its way, but like, it's a first season, you know, you kind of have to like allow them to do that. And it just sucks that this is the only season, so it's the only thing that you have, so you kind of have you need it to be as much as it can be, because it's all you're gonna get. Dean at the beginning talking about like the dealing with the monster within. John does have a monster within. Like, this has changed him, and you can see that anger bubbling on the surface. We really had not seen that up until this point. I was wanting to get into more of like what happened. We're still just getting flashes of what happened in the war. But you know, I mean, we saw what happened to his friend, but he's not going to allow us to see anymore because he doesn't want to think about it. So that all works for me. Yeah. I'm really happy that we found out what we found out about Carlos, though. I would have never expected, and it was a way to get out of jail. So they went to the Navy. And I hope this is something that, even though John didn't show up, maybe Carlos can be there for him in some way. I mean, that whole brothers in arms thing, and sometimes those are the only people that you can talk to about something like this. So if John ever does want to open up about it, Carlos would be a good person to do that with. So we'll see. I really like them pairing up. We're getting a lot of different pairings, and I like that, just to get to see the dynamics of the different relationships. I always really enjoy that. And, you know, Lotta helped Mary with opening that door. And Carlos was there for John if he would have walked through it, but he's not ready. If he ever is, I could see him. I mean, I doubt he will. Unless this is different, unless things change. Maybe if he would have gone with Carlos to these meetings after Mary died, maybe he would handle it differently. Who knows? But also, like, losing Mary is like they were soulmates or whatever. So, like, how he acted, it was a little bit out of his control. I'm not going to I'm not going to take all the blame off of him. But, I don't know. I really want to get... Oh, that reminds me that the guy, like, called himself Destiny. So this war with the Akrita seems predetermined. that's a whole other can of worms. But where are Carlos and Lata in the Supernatural universe? Oh my God. If Supernatural ever comes back, they have got to cast older versions of them. I want to see what they're up to. That would be so incredible. And I really hope I want to see young Bobby. I just do. And Missouri and anybody that would be around at that time. But yeah, this was good. I think we had to go here, and I'm glad where we ended up, even though it's tough. But in terms of what I know to be true about John Winchester, it works for me. So yeah, this was interesting, and the Akrita stuff is just as perplexing as ever. The fact that the Roman god of war was like, hey, I need to make sure you're ready for this. A little concerning. But I mean, John did win, so I guess that's good. But yeah, he fought his way out of it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I think this was a decent episode. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back soon.